Hello everybody, and today I'm doing you a short video on the importance of checking clearances when building an engine. Now what you're looking at is it's a motor project I'm doing for my pickup truck. It's originally started as a 454. It's a Gen 6 7.4 liter 454 is what it started as, and it's bored 30 over with a stroker kit, a stroker crank kit installed. Well, I'm in the process of installing it. It's a rotating assembly from Eagle Specialty. Let's see, where's the part number? There. I don't know if you can see that. That part number there. Now this kit I purchased from Summit Racing, and one of my immediate concerns before purchasing this rotating assembly kit was that on the specs it showed that the piston only had one valve release right there cut into the piston, and it only has one. Now, my original piston you can see here has two valve releases, and it showed on the catalog online on their website that it only had one valve release. So this motor, I'm also running a cam in it with a little bit more lift than what's stock. So I was concerned about clearance. So this rotating assembly should be able to just drop right in without any machine work. And the cam, the oversized cam that I'm gonna run, I've checked it with my original 30 over piston. With this one, I've checked it and it had plenty of clearance. But this rotating assembly only having one valve release, and this only having one valve release, I was concerned about clearance. So I couldn't wait to get the kit and check to see if I would have enough clearance with only one valve release. You can see that the piston has a dome on it, and the dome is, I don't know if you can see that. Let me get you a little closer. The dome is approximately 150 thousandths tall. But like I said, this video is about checking clearances. So let me sit this back down. Before I could check the piston and valve clearance, I run into another problem with the dome. The dome doesn't clear the head. I'll show you here in a minute. I'll give you a demonstration up close. But a little bit more information, if I can try not to forget. The piston, it's 30 in the hole. Measured the piston distance that I think they refer to it as, or deck height. It's 30 thousandths in the hole, like the original piston that I took out. And the head gasket is approximately, 36 thousandths compressed. But like I said, the problem that I'm having is the dome. The dome does not clear the head. Let me show you here in a minute exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm back with you. When you're checking clearances, you want to do the bare minimum of assembly to check clearances, because there's a good chance that you're going to have to take it back apart. You see that I had the piston there. I have two pistons in. Now the pistons don't have rings on them, so the pistons are connected to the rods. The rod is connected to the crank underneath. I can show you under there. See, they're connected underneath. And everything that's installed is not torqued to spec, but it is snug in such a way that there's not slack in it. We're just checking for clearances. It doesn't need to be torqued to spec. To check for clearance just needs to be snug. Now watch this. So I spin the motor over. Watch this. Look at that. Can you see that? If you didn't see it, I'll do it again for you. Watch. I don't know if you've seen that. I did it 2 times. That's the piston lifting the cylinder head right off of the block as I rotate the engine. Now what I've done is you see me put the head gasket on. I put the head on, and I put 3 studs, 3 engine studs in, or engine bolts. They're not tight. I just fasten them. I threaded them in enough to keep the head from falling off the block after I spin it over, because the only other thing that it has to holding it on is the dowel pins. Keep the head from dropping and hitting the floor. But that would be a problem. That would be a big problem if you fully assembled your engine and tried to crank it. Well, the average person, I mean, you're gonna spin your motor over. You would have found this problem after you assembled it. Before you put the engine back in the vehicle to try to crank it, you would have seen that it just wouldn't spin over. But this problem that I have here, I'll contact the manufacturer to see if what can be done, if I can get the correct pistons to go in here, or I might have to machine these pistons to modify the dome on them. But just be careful using dome pistons. And these aren't, this isn't a race engine. These aren't like high dome pistons. The stock pistons are flat. These are like 9. Calculated on the compression ratio calculator on Summit Racing. These pistons are like 9.4 to 1 compression ratio. Thanks for watching. Look for the next video.